Out of everything that was to be banned on this list, Light Clay is probably the most intriguing one out of all of them. And I'll get to the rest of the Pokemon later on this list, but I want to talk about Light Clay first. It says right here, Light Clay is a unique non-Pokemon addition to our tiering radar. Many players have cited concerns about the dual screens, reflect and light screen, archetype making many offensive Pokemon that are already very strong into overbearing, seldom countered threats. Light Clay doubles the length of these screens, giving many Pokemon more free turns as foes become more passive with a diminished damage output. In essence, Light Clay has been unbelievably a burden to handle on the offensive side, and let me explain with a couple of examples. So these are probably the most popular or the most common sets I've seen from all of these, or like the most common Pokemon I've seen running Light Clay. You got Uxie with Light Clay, Dragapult with Light Clay because Dragapult's really fast, Uxie's pretty bulky, Cresselia pretty bulky again, and Mesprit. Although lesser degree of Mesprit, I saw Mesprit in a couple of games, not really that much. Mostly these three though, in the front, and Uxie and Dragapult especially coming out first. Dragapult, it's really good. It's got Will-O-Wisp, it's got Reflect, it's got Hex, and then it's got Light Screen. Awesome set to run, especially since it's base 142 speed and like only like Regieleki that can really outspeed it naturally, I think, in this meta, I'm pretty sure. And then Uxie as well, it's just really bulky, so you can have Reflect, Light Screen, Stealth Rocks, and like Future Sight, some to this effect, right? And this is like really good. And then Cresselia is an interesting one, so it's not going to always run Reflect and Light Screen, sometimes it just run one of them, because it likes to run Trick Room, it likes to run Trick Room as well, so you don't really have too many utility options without having the ability to do damage. So it has something like Lunar Dance, to bring in another Pokemon, and then it's got something like maybe like Psychic or something to that effect, right? Psychic, Moonblast. You can put like Future Sight, I believe. Is Future Sight here? Yeah, Future Sight, and like things to that nature, right? Just a substitute for Cresselia. And then Mesprit's kind of weird. I really haven't seen much of it. So like I have like Reflect, Light Screen, then you can, some run physical, some run special. I think I usually see special though. Sometimes they'll have U-turn. Thunder Wave is also good. Like I said, Mesprit's kind of the unknown right here. Mesprit's been kind of here and there. It's mostly Uxie and Dragapult though that I've seen it. And this is really important because Pokemon like, let's say for example, Ursaluna, who are already pretty bulky as you can see on the offensive and defensive side. So you got HP 130, you got 140 attack, which is just nuts, especially with Guts, Facade, Terra, Normal. We'll get into that a little bit later, or a next video. But then we got defense 105. Then we got 80 special defense, which is not even that bad if you think about it. Just compared to the rest of the stats, it looks kind of bad because it's got 105, 140, 130, and then it's got 45 and 50, to which obviously will stand out. So if you put theoretically Reflect and Light Screen, combined with Light Clay, which actually makes it last for both 8 turns, it's going to be hard to take down Ursaluna, especially since it's already naturally pretty bulky. And you got other Pokemon that could potentially benefit from it. Basculegion and Swift Swim, right? If you have those screens up, it's going to be a bit hard to take it down, especially with the rain up. You got Chiampao, obviously. Oh, Chiampao's always good, right? It's going to take advantage of it. You got something like Zamazenta. Now, Zamazenta has been an interesting Pokemon because this is, I think, a rare time you're going to see a box legendary all the way down in the OU, which I think is going to go up into Ubers personally, but that's just me. We'll talk about that a bit later in another video, obviously. But if you have this thing, look at its defensive stats. It's base 720 or something to that effect, right? And you're going to give this thing a Light Screen and Reflect, to which it can also double its Reflect things essentially with Iron Defense and Body Press. That is crazy amount, and that's why players are really advocating for the ban of Light Screen. Now, I think Light Screen more so to effect has to do with the Pokemon that are also in the metagame. Not Light Screen, sorry, the ban of Light Clay. I think it has to do more with the Pokemon that are in the metagame more so than the item itself, because you just got a lot of high base stat Pokemon in the metagame that are just so unnatural with their min-maxing of base stats, right? Ursaluna is a good example. It's min-maxed on base stats. Look, when I mean by min-maxed, that means its base stats are to its basically full potential. You don't, base 45 special attack, like, who's going to do anything with that? If this thing was up to like a 90 special attack, I wouldn't say it's min-maxed, because obviously you're still going to run physical, but its physical attacks might be compromised, or its bulk might be compromised. Here, what Pokemon did is not compromise it, and give it like a pretty low special attack stat, and while min-maxing everything else. That's what I basically mean. So you got a ton of Pokemon in the metagame that are also like that. You got Zamazenta, Or you got Sneasler, for example, right? Sneasler is kind of, it's okay on bulk. It's not nothing crazy. Like it can make some special attacks, but you put a light screen and reflect with the light clay for 8 turns. It could potentially come in with the grassy or electric seed and unburden, right? And then run dire claw, and then you're kind of in a bit of a trouble because it's gonna be hard to take this thing down. Although be it like 1 EQ from a great task will probably take it down. But you get my point. It's gonna be difficult. And you got Pokemon like Magearna as well, who's just off the charts. This thing is amazing for reasons I don't even have to state, right? And you give this thing a reflect and light screen for 8 turns. My point is, you just got a ton of Pokemon with min-max stats that can really take advantage of the reflect and light screen, which makes them more potently offensive threats. And in the addition of terrestrialization, that can make things tougher. Because, for example, if you go for a water type move on Ursaluna, but come to find out you go like Terra Normal, Guts, Burn Orb, oops, not Burn Orb, Flame Orb, my bad. Flame Orb, Facade, right? If you go for something that effect, not only are you underneath that light screen and reflect, but now you can go back and dish back a harder attack, and it's going to be hard to take you down now because you came in with the mindset to take this down with a water type move. But now you have to search through your party to go for a fighting type move, and then they can maybe switch out and play games with you, or they can stay in and maybe and go for another Facade, etc. There's always things like that it's going to be effective on the game itself, and I think that's what just makes it so difficult for many users at the moment. Me personally, do I think Light Clay should be banned? Hell no. I think it's pretty stupid to ban it, in my opinion. I think Light Clay in the metagame is honestly fine. I love when the game is more offensively like challenging or offensively like fun. It just makes the game more fun, like more hyper offense. That's just me personally. I love playing that kind of game, but I can understand where people are coming from, why Light Clay should be banned. Me personally, I think you have to ban a couple Pokemon first. First one up, like Magearna or Zamazenta especially. I don't even know why they thought this thing would be good in the metagame. Zamazenta, Magearna, definitely Chiempao, Ursaluna, things to that nature, right? I think once you start banning things, you might be able to see like the decrease of the of how broken it might be. Now, once again, I might be wrong, and maybe you guys will come back to this video and be like, oh my god, he was so wrong, definitely should be banned, which, I mean, I'll take full-heartedly, but I want to see those Pokemon banned first before we ban something as ridiculous as Light Clay for the metagame. But yeah, in conclusion, this is what's happening currently in the metagame. Concerning with Light Clay, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about Light Clay. Should it be banned? Should we ban Pokemon first? Or should we keep it in the game? I just want to hear all you guys' thoughts. And if you guys also enjoyed, be sure to subscribe for more competitive content like this. I am back. Uploads are coming a lot. You can trust me. There's going to be a lot more competitive content coming your way. And join the Discord as well. It's in the description below. We have a ton of great people in that community if you guys want to join and talk about competitive Pokemon as well. And if you just enjoyed this video, leave a like as well. Appreciate it, and it will help a ton as well. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate all of you guys.